Here's a story in Revolver News. The disturbing history of Dr. John Money, pro-pedophile sexologist who coined the term gender identity. I want you to keep in mind about this story whenever you hear your local school district talking about how we affirm gender identity and gender changing and for young children, that is all something innate to their true essence, to their true self. This comes from the work of people like John Money. He's kind of like a founding father for the gender identity studies set and movement, okay? And so when you see these stories, keep that in mind. When you hear your local school board mindlessly, stupidly parrot talking points, ask them, why are you quoting terms from John Money? Or, if they're using gender identity in reference to your kids and all these different terms. You didn't say that before. Why do you just regurgitate some talking point some activist told you to say because it's fashionable, it's cool, you're trying to be trendy? Why are you so flippant with your words that you would say stuff you don't even know? John Money was the founder of the gender identity stuff. He said, here's a quote from Redux. Like many sexologists, Money believed pedophilia was a harmless sexuality which, when practiced properly, led to the child suffering no harm. In fact, Money's theories on pedophilia were so sympathetic that to this day his work is prominently featured on the website of the North American Man-Boy Love Association, NAMBLA, one of the longest established pederast rights groups. In the 1990s, Money allowed himself to be featured in interviews with Bedica, a pedophile psychology journal named after the Greek adjective for boyish, and has been used by pedophile rights activists to refer to the younger partner in a pederastic relationship. In a 1991 interview for the journal, Money is quoted as saying, "If I were to see the case of a boy aged 10 or 11 who's intensely erotically attracted towards a man in his 20s or 30s, if the relationship is totally mutual and the bonding is genuinely totally mutual, then I would not call it pathological in any way." So you read that stuff about John Money, and then you say, why is your local school board, why is your local city, why are they proclaiming language right out of his playbook about gender identity? He's the one that coined it. He's the one that was doing cruel experimentation, forcing kids to, did an experiment with twins where he forced one to be presented as a girl. He didn't want it. He didn't like it, and he ended up committing suicide. This is the founder of this stuff. He kicked off what you are now seeing trying to be brought into the mainstream, and they're trying to subjugate your local community when you don't want that. The vast majority of the black community does not want that. The vast majority of the Hispanic community does not want that. The vast majority of the white community, Christian, Muslims, Asians, people of all types don't want this stuff. So why are we all being divided? While John Money's stinking garbage ideology is being subjugated, it's being imposed upon us as we are all told to hate each other. You're supposed to hate this person for this race or gender, or there's not enough pay for this group or that group. Microaggressions, physics is a problem, Isaac Newton is a problem, showing up on time to work is a problem, but John Money's idea is not a problem according to your establishment. And it's not just on high in D.C., it's in your local school districts where they're using these terms, that this is the innate identity, the innate true status of your children that we are going to be raising from kindergarten or younger till graduation. And we are saying and proclaiming that gender identity and all these different social engineering experiments from this sadistic guy, John Money, and the people that came after him, this is going to be the standard thing. You're saying, are you kidding me? This one, just a few years ago, people would say that's insane. They'd never go that extreme. But yet they are. And why are they able to do so? Because everybody's beleaguered by this ransacking of our economy. It's so hard. People have to work multiple jobs. There's nobody that's able to stay home with the kids. Everybody is out working, 1 or 2 jobs each. People are having a hard time keeping up with their debt load. They're in mortgages that they can't afford. They're in house and car payments that they just a couple months could get them in a really bad spot. They're in businesses that are having a hard time growing because of regulations and all the supply chain issues. These people are under a lot of stress. They go to the government, and the government just tells them lies and lunchroom drama about Trump or whatever, and they get caught up in that. And they say, okay, I guess I can't get any help there. So they go back to their work. They go back to their numbing. When they finally get a little bit of time at home, what are they going to do? They're going to numb out. Numb out with a beer, numb out with Netflix, numb out with something to just keep their mind, to have peace from the soul-sucking environment that many people find themselves in. They go to their doctor, and instead of actually dealing with systemic problems about why the body is dysfunctional, high cortisol levels, no, here, take a pill, try that. Take a drug, most likely a drug that's not generic, right? And that's so they get a drug and it doesn't do anything. And they keep eating seed oils because their government tells them that's what you should eat. They try to eat healthy. They eat a salad. It's got doused with soybean oil sludge. They don't know that their government's not doing their job to tell them the truth about these toxic products. So they just eat up a salad and they think, I'm eating healthy. And in fact, they're destroying their mitochondria. So people are being beleaguered. So it's no wonder they don't know about John Money. No one talks about it. But this is the worldview that your local school districts and mayors and so forth and so on around this country are saying, hey, this is who we stand for. When you are, for especially schools, when you're bringing your kids to this district, we proclaim that gender identity is these gender identity concepts that every child can choose from infinite options of gender identity and take hormones and all these things. They want to affirm those things. It's the trendy thing to do. It's John Money's worldview. Why are you paying your taxpayer dollars to promote John Money's ridiculous insanity?